Hello, back on track with Borderline. What an absolute son of a bitch this song is. I just can't make it do what I want it to. I've got the vocals in and I don't like them, but I'm going to play them to you and we'll talk about why I don't like them. I've done a new guitar solo at the end, which I don't like, and I'm going to talk about why I don't like it. I think failure is far more instructive than success, so I do take a lot from these sessions and things when things go horribly wrong, but it's also pretty depressing when they do. I mean, it's not an absolute train wreck. There's stuff about it that I really like, and I'm happy to show you this stuff, but just beware that the vocals are not how I want them to be. It's the lyrics that I've got the biggest problem with, and the guitar solo is just like not great. Let's see what we've got. been unfair on myself. Listening back to it then, actually, I've come at it with such a negative perspective that I quite enjoyed lots of aspects about it then. The thing that I'm most annoyed with is one of the lines right at the beginning of the song. Pretentious or what? How did that get through my pretentious filter? It's awful. You can sense the unease of the seas and the soil receding. No, terrible. That the word soil is like the worst word I've put in any song I've written to date. It is soiling the song. Now, the song's about the fact that we think we're ruining the planet. The planet doesn't give a crap about us. We're ruining ourselves, that's all. So that's basically the tenet of the song. Long after we're gone, it won't give a damn, and it'll carry on spinning and being a planet. You can't just use a crap word that sounds bad to be sung and get away with it. I should have known when I wrote it down that, firstly, it didn't pass the pretentious test. It's a bad word that shouldn't have been there in the first place. But it doesn't sing well either. You can't sing the word soil effectively. It's just a horrible, unpleasant word. So what's it doing there? Well, it was a mistake. Those are the things that, as you're writing them down, it's too close, it's too prosaic. So it was kind of the right word from the meaning behind what the lyrics were supposed to be saying. But you can't just use a word because it's kind of syntactically correct. It's got to be poetically correct in the context of the song. And I just realised as I was saying that sentence that I was actually disappearing up my own arse in the description as well. And I attempt at all stages of my songwriting process to always avoid being pretentious. I really hate pretension in all forms. And yet here I am kind of slathering it on. So I suppose that's where most of my annoyances come from, that I've fallen into this trap of doing something that's just arsey. It's not the end of the world. I need to give myself a break. The actual flow of the lyrics is pretty good. I'm quite happy with the melody. I'm very happy with the middle section. I like the way that I leave it hanging. There's kind of ghost words or ghost sung notes that should be there that aren't. That it's on the response. There's two notes missing that aren't there. That when I actually wrote the original melody, they were. Couldn't find words to fit in the right place, and then realised that it was actually better just leaving it as it was. So I'm kind of pleased with that. Most of the other lyrics are fine. Shuffle on poor automaton. What? Shuffle on poor automaton. No, it actually sings reasonably well, but nope, that doesn't pass the test either. That's out of here. So I'm going to have a review of the lyrics from a lyrical perspective. Get the words right. It doesn't matter if they make less kind of prosaic sense than they currently do, as long as they sound better. Now, automaton actually sings really well, but it fails the pretentious test. It's a word that doesn't have a place in the song. Without a glimmer of a doubt, writing lyrics and getting them to work in the context of the song is the thing that I find more difficult than anything else. I think it's really, really hard. It's hard to come up with the lyrics in the first place, and then getting them to sound good in the context of the song is just incredibly difficult. And I'm happy to show you when I go wrong, because I think these are the times, like I said at the beginning of the video, you learn more from your mistakes than your successes. The guitar's starting to sound pretty good to me. This third motif isn't. I think it's getting in the way. There's no need for those extra notes to be there. The one in the middle. That's more space. I prefer the call to the response. I might see if I can find something better there, but it's okay. You know, for the time being, it's like 7 out of 10. It passes the test. It could survive all the way to the end of the song. If I can find something better, that would be awesome. This solo is kind of getting written in stone. I might re-record it and try to improve the playing a little bit. Not sure, think about that. Pretty much happy with the bass line now. Done a little bit more audio warping and correction and gluing together and figuring out how the whole thing is supposed to flow. And I think that's kind of done. Happy there. This solo at the end, it was an experiment to see how few notes I could get away with, because I do get flowery sometimes and just put unnecessary stuff in that shouldn't be there, and I've gone too far the other way. The walk down bit is good and everything else is kind of weak. The idea of pedaling on the two notes, and when I played it, it felt good, but coming back a few days later and reviewing it, it's not standing up to scrutiny, so I'll have a bit more of a think about that. But I like the idea of it being pretty sparse. I mean, you can hopefully tell what an enormous David Gilmour devotee I am. I would give anything to be able to sound like that. And so really that's the vibe that I'm going for, the long held notes where they sound good in their own right and don't need to have any additional ornamentation applied to them. But it's not there yet, it's a work in progress. So that was literally just as recorded. I actually put 4 down, and at one point had all 4 going. Which gets me a little bit closer to the Gilmour sound, but for the purposes of the playback of the song, I think that the stereo effect was a little bit stronger. I don't know though. I think when I just played that, then that sounded pretty good. So lots of flux, lots of stuff happened this week on this song. It's made more steps forward than backward, and I'm always happy to get the first layer of vocals down, and it's so much effort getting the vocals recorded, Pauline finding time to sing them, and then me processing them all and choosing the best out of multiple different takes. I've actually left all of the old takes behind. They're still here, because I wanted the option to multi-track if necessary, but because I'm going to change the structure of the song and change some of the lyrics, I won't go to the effort of processing any more than one line. We'll redo it on another session once I've fixed the lyrics. So there you go. You know, slowly making progress. Not as bad as I made it out at the beginning of the video, but still definitely lessons to be learned, things to take away. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing. Come back for the next episode when and if that happens. It will happen, not when and if. And hope to see you then. Thanks very much for watching.